great Brad Gillis. He has a guitar that Lisa's going to photograph, and it has a story. Tell me the lineage of that guitar.
Well, I'll tell you, I've been playing guitar since I was 8 years old. When I was turning about, 18, 19 years old, I was living with my brother. My brother being 7 years older than me, he had a bunch of friends who were musicians, which kind of helped me get into music, right?
Yes.
So basically, my brother's friend came over in 78, I think it was, and he had a sanded down 62 Strat in a box. And he came over and he opened this box, and this is 78, and 62 is not really vintage or anything. And he says, hey, I got the 62 Strat. Do you want it? And I said, yeah, okay, cool, man, thanks, right? And I took it and I thought, I'm going to build this the way I want to build it, right? So my brother's friend worked at another friend worked at a body shop, so they took the body, sanded down, the neck and body sanded down, took the body and they hung it inside the spray booth and sprayed it the gray primer on cars, right? Then I had some orange-red Emerald paint left over from my Datsun 240Z. And
that was the car.
And watching in the spray booth and on a hanger, him spraying up with this orange-red paint, and I thought, cool, okay, got that done. Back in the day, back in the late 70s, they had a guitar repairman named Mr. Kamamoto, and he did repairs and stuff. So he took the 62 neck and finished it out in black with the original 62 sticker on it. So I had the body and the neck together. So I had the original 3 Strat pickups from '62, but I wanted a humbucking, so I put a humbucker in the bridge position. So now I had that set up how I wanted. So I kind of built it up and started playing it. I thought, well, I want to put a built-in wireless in it because that was the rage. And Nady had these actually, my brother had the Gillis cordless for a little while, but then Nady wanted to sue him, so instead of going into a lawsuit, we thought we'd join the gang and team up with Nady. All of a sudden it became a Nady endorsee. He gave me one of their transmitters, took it out of the box, out of the case, and I mounted that inside my guitar. So here I got my 62 red Strat with a built-in wireless, and then Floyd Rose came out. This guy named Floyd. And I'm hearing Eddie doing these harmonic dive bombs and stuff, and I said, wow, I got to get that. I just love the sound and everything. So I took I think it was a late 70s white Les Paul Custom, went down to Don Weir's Music in San Francisco and traded my white Les Paul Custom in for the third Floyd Rose ever built in his garage and a fret job for my guitar. Everybody thought I was crazy trading a Les Paul Custom for this piece of machinery. I said, it's going to pay off someday, right? So then I got it floating. I got it floating up and down so I could pull up and down. So Eddie's going down doing dive bombs. I started doing harmonics coming up. I want to be different. So hence the last note in my solo in Don't Tell Me Love Me where I go, wee, the big thing, right? And so I started working on that stuff, and then I started screwing around one day, and I banged the guitar, and it kind of went, brr, brr. What the hell is that? And I hit it, I hit a note, and I figured out, I hit the bar, it was shaking.
Okay.
Right? I thought, okay, I could use that. So I incorporated all these cool Floyd Rose tricks and sounds, into my music, and it pretty much defined my whammy bar style throughout my career. So I got to thank Floyd a lot. In fact, I just went and saw Floyd in his booth a while ago, and I had my red Strat here, and I showed it to him. And he goes, "Is that the one I built in my garage?" He goes, "It still works." I go, "Dude, it's almost 40 years since you made it, 39 years, and it's the same one." And he goes, "Hey, that's the story right there." So now I got this whole thing with Floyd we're going to do on my original Floyd that he made, which is cool. And I still play the guitar to this day. I've recorded the Ozzy Speak of the Devil record with it. My Sister Christian solo with that guitar. Don't Tell Me Love Me, Rockin' America, everything, So
that's the guitar.
So basically, it's my Bubba. I call it Bubba.
Bubba.
So Bubba's been my staple for all my career, and now I have a friend over here, Jim Cara Guitars, that's making exact replicas of Bubba, and we've already sold about 8 or 10. He's got a couple more orders. They're not cheap, but all the work it takes to all the dings and nooks and crannies and stickers and everything I put on it. So that's working out good. So
what are some of the stickers?
It's just different, like Led Zeppelin sticker and a little Night Ranger stickers, pins, a San Francisco Giants pin, a Oakland Raiders deep pin on it.
This is an observation.
Yeah.
He has lived a rock and roll life, 40 years, right? All of the whatever excess and abandon, but his memory of that guitar and where it came from is absolutely precise.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Unvarnished.
It's amazing. He has every detail.
The detail.
He remembers of that
Well, that was
guitar.
before the 80s, and I can't remember much of the 80s because I had too much fun.
Do you remember your
But in the
first-
70s, I do.
Do you at least remember your first kiss? If you remember all that about that guitar.
Oh, there was more than a kiss, but anyway.
You went right to the money, right?
No, I remember my first kiss. No, I remember the 80s. It's all good. But, defining scenes in my life like that, building that guitar, you can't forget it because
Yes.
that guitar, defined my style and has been throughout my career.
And it taught you.
And it taught me, yeah.
Taught you.
What's really cool about my brother being 7 years older, in 1979 when I was 12, he had all the Led Zeppelin 1 and Santana, all the new Santana, and Cheap Thrills, Janis Joplin, and The Doors, and all these great records back then that I used to sit in his bedroom, and he was an electronics guy, and he made me a little preamp that he built through Popular Science or something, put it in a box. So his turntable went to this box with a guitar preamp in it with a headphone jack. So he'd go out every night. Of course, I was 12, 13. And I'd sit in his room and put all his records on and with headphones. And I'd sit there and play all these records. And I learned by ear. We're talking every day.
Yeah.
All, after school until dinner. After dinner, until I had to go to bed every weekend. In fact, my dad would say, "Son, how come you aren't across the street playing football with the kids?" So I got into baseball. I played basketball. I was a pitcher in Little League and all that stuff. But, my 5th grade talent show, I played and sang Gloria.
Gloria.
And I remember when I got done, all the girls in the audience were cheering and stuff. And I freaked out. What the hell, right? And they're going, "Ah!" And I thought, this is what I want to do.
You got a
You
taste.
found your niche.
This is what I want.
You bit the apple.
Yeah, so basically, that talent show, maybe get a band together. I had bands all through middle school and high school.
Yeah.
When I was a freshman in high school, I played with all seniors. I played the senior prom when I was a freshman. Got out right out of school, played 5 nights a week in nightclubs for a year until Jack Blades and the guys picked me up for Rubicon. Did 2 records with Rubicon.
Yeah.
We ended up breaking up and starting a band called Ranger.
Yep.
Did our first record, tried to get a record deal in '82, had problems with that. Ozzy called me to do the Ozzy tour after the horrible passing of Randy Rhoads.
Yeah.
So I went on tour with Ozzy for 8 or 9 months, went all over the world twice, into the Speak of the Devil record with my Bubba. And then Night Ranger got a record deal. Rudy Sarzo left to go to Quiet Riot, and Night Ranger got our deal. And 19 million records later, it's
Brad
all good.
Gillis.
I'm gonna cry now.
We admire your recollection.
Thanks, Lonn.
Thank you,
Good
buddy.
to see you again, my friend.